Well, hello and welcome to Modular Curiosity, Episode 5 of Season 2. Hey, welcome back. You know, it's almost Thanksgiving, and this has been now almost exactly 1 year that I've been doing this series. So, hey, thanks everyone for joining up and all the support, all the likes. By the way, do like and subscribe. That always helps me out. I usually say that at the end of the series, but yeah, it really helps me out. Hey, today, what is this gigantic thing? This is the Portland weather from Frozen Wasteland. And this is essentially the VCV Rack port of this. This is the Rainmaker by Intellijel. And you can see that in this case, for the VCV port, the front end, the GUI, the control panel, it doesn't look anything like the actual model. But that's okay, because we actually do have almost all the functionality in this module here in this module, just that the interface is a little bit different. That's okay. Let's walk through it. What this thing is at its core is a 16-step delay. So let me set up a very simple delay to show you what's going on. All right, so our basic patch here today is simply using my MIDI keyboard to drive the resonator. And I'm in the green mode, which is like striking a plate. I could adjust the brightness, the damping. I've decided to leave the structure about here. And the position I'm actually modulating with this LFO. So if I turn the attenuator back to center, we get no modulation. And notice how you get that cool, almost flanging sound when it's moving. So I have a triangle wave from an LFO driving this. I'm just turning the attenuator up a little bit. And that gives us this really cool sort of phase shifting, flanging sound. And that is one of the two sounds I'm going to be using. The other one is simply to go from green mode to yellow mode, maybe with a bit more brightness and a bit more structure. But that has such a long delay that I find when demonstrating an echo, I want kind of short, sharp notes. I also have my mixer set up so that this channel, channel 3, is the straight sound. Channel 1s and 2 are the output from here. And I'm controlling them from my MIDI keyboard, from the faders on my MIDI keyboard, rather than having to constantly come over here and adjust and come back. I'm just going to adjust them. So right now, I have the output of the Portland weather turned off. Now here we have 16 taps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the normal voice off. That is my straight voice. We should say my dry voice. And I'm going to bring up the mix only. Now what we're going to hear is 16 echoes. So I'm going to press the key and we'll count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Except we heard the original because I had the mix turned up halfway. So let's put the mix all the way over so that I'm not hearing the original note. My original note will come through the mixer. Remember, I can fade in the original. And so now through here, I'm going to hear only the Frozen Wastelands. So I'm going to hit, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so far, kind of cool. Let's bring the original note in. And we will hear a total of 17. Okay, that doesn't seem all that cool. Well, let's start playing with some notes. For example, let's mute that one. We'll let 2 go. We'll mute that one. Let 2 go. That one, 2, that one, 2, that one, 2, and mute that one. So it's only going to echo on the ones that are not muted. And what that means initially, as the first thing, is we could set up a rhythm. And of course, with our time, we can change the speed of that echo. So far, kind of cool. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. But wait, there's more. In fact, let's zoom in even a bit more. Okay, right here, pitch. Notice if I turn these, we get digits next to it. Well, that is the number of half steps. So let's say I want to go up, let's go 2 half steps, 3 half steps, 5 half steps, 7, and then we'll come back down to 5, 3 and 2. And you know what? I'm going to mute the rest of them. And what this is we could actually shift pitch to very specific semitones. Pitch shift the echo. Now check out what happens. And if I play a melody on the keyboard, well, what if, instead of just going up and down a scale like that, we do an arpeggio? So for example, let's go 3, 5, let's see. So here's my root. And I want to do a minor third. So that's 1, 2, 3 notes. Let's see, fifth is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And flat seventh would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want a 3, a 5, what did I say, a 7 and a 10. So we're basically going to be building a minor 7th chord. And now we'll bring the echo in again. I think I'm going to bring the damping down a little bit. Now let's start playing a melody with that. But it gets even cooler. This is a chord, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I want to stack those 3 notes together. And what's going to happen is that note, and that note are all going to stack on top of this one. And I'm going to need more volume. Let's turn the volume up. Now let's stack that, and that up. And so what we're hearing, yes, it's quieter, but it's stacking all those notes. We're building chords. But wait, there's more. Not only can we build chords, notice that we have a filter bank here. And even though it's a dial, it's actually a switch. So if we turn it, we see, boom, low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass filter. So let's put these all at low. And let's play with the filter cut off. Yeah, and how about the Q, which is the resonance? And, of course, we see all these input jacks. That means all of this stuff can be controlled and modulated. And let's take a second one and start playing with cutoff frequencies. And maybe speed it up a little bit. Now, we're only cycling through one time. Feedback, just like any other delay, we could start feeding that back into itself. And hear that delay? That's because the delay is still going through all 16 before it does feedback. Well, up here, we can say, no, I want to tap my feedback off at the 8th beat. So let's come down here. I'm going to tap it at 8 for left, 8 for right. There we go. But notice we have a different feedback tap for left and right. We could actually say, let's tap the right one from the 4th beat and the left one from the 8th beat. So this is going to sound a little different. I hope you're listening through headphones because the stereo separation on that is amazing. And what if we wanted the feedback to go up, say, 3 semitones, and this one to go up 5 semitones? And we wanted more feedback. And what if we wanted to reverse it? If we want to try to ping pong between the left and right. Now, do you hear how we're getting all kinds of interesting little melodies? Let's do maybe 5 here, and let's go down by 3 on this side. And of course, all of this can be modulated with control voltages. So let's go back to our initial patch. So what we're going to do is I'm going to initialize this, turn all these back on, and I'm going to get rid of all these. Let's see, let's do it this way. Disconnect cables. Disconnect cables there. That's the fast way to do it. So now I should have the standard single note input and 17 echoes. And let's move this down to about 200 so it's a little faster. Now, by the way, we can adjust levels of individual notes, which can also add accents. So already we're starting to build rhythmic variations. Okay, so I've just initialized back. I'm going to come back down to about 200 or so. And there's still more to do. Now we're hearing straight. What that means is every repeat is going to be the same length. But what if we went to, say, swing? Hey, that sounds like instant Pink Floyd. Now, imagine putting some filter sweeps and modulation on that. But we have others. We have hard swing. How about a reverse swing? Alternate? Oh, this is nice. We know what that is. Accelerando. It's going to speed up. And retard is, of course, slow down. Waltz time? Now, some of my favorite ones, roller coaster. Imagine going up a roller coaster slowly and then over the top and down. Quintuplets are cool. And of course, we have all kinds of randoms. Speaking of random, right click here. Look at this guy, randomize. If you will just want to get some amazing weird sounds, click that and mess with it. Now we could also, for example, I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it on, say, every fourth of this clock. Actually, I don't even have to put it on every fourth. I'll just do it that way and slow it down. Now we're going to kick the division to 2. Let's do it the other way. Let's do it the other way. I'm going to bring this up. And let's put some pitches in here. I'm just, at this point I'm just going to randomly start putting weird pitches in. And I want this you see I can do divisions of steps. And now what if we play with the groove? I'm going to say that I want some feedback on different taps. And reverse it. That is amazing. And of course, as you see here, we have pan. We could put any echo left or right and it can be modulated. We have detune. Let's go back to initialize. Also, if we speed this up, we should get a little bit of a sort of chorus phasing sort of effect. Actually, this position is sweeping so much. Let me take that out. There we go. And what if we change the pitch of the echoes as we did before? And perhaps I want this one to echo off the second. And you know what? Let's give it a little more of the echo and a little less of the original signal and hear what's really going on. Okay, what just happened here is something that I have noticed is a little strange about this. I've made a change. It's not seeming to do anything. And what I have noticed is that I will save and then close VCV Rack and reopen it. And I'll see what happens. So I have noticed in some cases the Portland weather will just completely lock up. It's as if we've just given it too much to do and it needs a break. It needs to rest. We even have here something that looks a little bit like clouds. Just like clouds, it sounds like we're about to lose control. So let's clear the buffer. Hear that? Clear the buffer when that starts happening. It's just getting overwhelmed. Tell me that isn't the first song in your new ambient album. Well, folks, that is just a quick look. Gosh, quick, really? Almost 20 minutes? Look at the Portland weather. This thing is amazing. It's amazing. We can change the pan, we can change the level, we could change the filter, the type of filter, the cutoff, the frequency, the pitch, the detune. We can change where the feedback comes back in. I haven't played with slip. I don't even know what slip is. I think it's that it's going to start echoing, say, on 4 and then 5 and then 6 and then 7. I think that's what slip is, but there's so many echoes going on, it's hard to actually test it and figure it out. We see what pitch does. We could detune the echoes. We could reverse it. We could change ping pong on and off. We can change the amount of groove. The Portland Weather by Frozen Wasteland. This is going to be your new favorite digital delay. Folks, that's it for episode 5. Thanks, as always. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. That always does help me out. And Boy, has this module ever been more appropriate to say, stay curious. All right, see you folks next time.